thank everyone for commenting in the previous video on the LTZ250. I guess the consensus is just to fix it, get it running, knock the ugly off. Somebody liked that comment, by the way. And just moving on to another home. And I think that's what we're gonna do. I have another project that I just picked up, I don't know, 5-6 days ago maybe. And you guys are gonna really like that one. That one there, I think is gonna be a complete rebuild, restore. I'm gonna strip it all the way down. We're gonna make that one really nice. I don't want to spoil the surprise on that. It's actually over there right now. That's why I have the camera facing this way. I don't want to spoil it, but we're gonna do that. So I guess without further ado, let's get cracking. I think the first thing we're gonna do is fix this key. The key is spinning all the way around in there because the lugs don't line up. I don't think this is either. This isn't the right key ignition or it's the wrong hit dashboard. I'm not sure. But the screw doesn't go down far enough to tighten it up against the dashboard. So what I did was I filed off that little lug on there because the lug isn't going to catch on anything anyway. And I had saved a nut from one of the ignitions on one of the YFZ 450s, and I hacksawed the nut part off, and I just saved the back flange. And I'm going to use that as a washer behind that. And here's the nut that came with it. And that should take up the space that I need. So I'm going to do that now. I'll come right back. All right, guys, I have pins. I have a ton of them. Unfortunately, they're just a little bit too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bracket off. I'm going to drill these holes out to accept these. And drill that hole out to accept those. And we'll be as good as new. Wow. Boy, that really worked out well, didn't it? All right, let's try the other side. I should have held it better than that. Oh my. All right, well, learn from your mistakes. All right, that one bent too, but let me bend that one back. Well, let's see if I can bend this back without destroying it. I can tell it. Oh man, that thing twisted like an absolute pretzel. Oh boy. No, you know what? Might be able to. Hey, you guys get to watch me fix my mistake. I guess that's pretty cool. And if you don't have a bench vise, I advise you pick one up because they are a lifesaver. Alright. I literally can't believe I got that back in shape. Well, I don't know if it's completely back in shape or not, but better than it was. Guys, don't do as I do. Alright, let me see if I can drill that out now without destroying it again. Alright. Oh my god. Let me grab a hammer. We'll get it back in shape. We'll get her back in shape. Now the only thing is I gotta make sure the screw goes through that because I did deform this hole a little bit, and she goes in. Look at that, like it never happened. Get this back in place. All right, that dashboard is good and tight, and it's not going anywhere. Now. Very nice. Fixed. While I'm at it, I'll take this off of here. Alright. Move on to something else. Oh, and the crossbar protector is all flaking and falling apart. So, trash. All right, guys, I think right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the plastics because I want to pull the carb and I need to get the airbox out. And it looks like the airbox bolts underneath these side covers. So they need to come off. So we are going to do that right now. All right, side covers are off. The tank is loose. I'm not sure why. Not even tight. What's going on with that one? Well, small things. I think I still have to take. I'm gonna take the rear fenders off to get underneath there, I guess, huh? All right, I guess the rear fender's got to come off. All right, guys, all the plastics are off. They're on the floor over here. I am going to take these things outside and wash them with a bucket, a sponge, and some hot soapy water, and try to clean these things up as best I can. And then we'll bring it back. Then we'll put them in storage for now. It's pretty dirty, and now that I have the covers off, I don't know what the hell. This looks like a breather tube, and I don't know why that ain't connected to anything or where that would actually go. So I need to look into that. I need to find out why this thing is plugged. We also have wire nuts holding wires together, which is always a good thing when you have something that's constantly being wet or driven through mud. I don't know what this plug goes to. Let's see if I can see what's going on up inside of here. And these don't look plugged in. There's another one here. So, I don't know. It does run, so I'm not going to get too fancy with the wiring. And the reverse lever's off. I did put a rag underneath after I ran it for a while to see if it leaks any oil. And as of right now, I don't see any leaks. So, we'll leave that under there for a few days and see what happens. And this guy right here, I don't know what that thing is. Oh, that's the rear brake cable. That looks like it's brand new. Like maybe that was replaced. It does look brand new, doesn't it? Now we'll go through the brakes and see what's going on. Boy, is this thing filthy. And something broke off of here. I'm gonna say it's probably the fender mounts. Yeah, they broke off on both sides. Let me go look underneath to see if they're still there. My guess is probably not, but if they are, we'll weld them back on. Let's take a peek, shall we? Let's see what's underneath here. Unfortunately, they're not here. No worries. I'll make something. We'll weld them on there. So we got to do that. Clean this all up and weld something on there. Not a big deal. Now, this thing is really dirty, so I'm not sure how to proceed, but I think I'm going to remove the tank. I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to remove the tank. Probably take that outside and wash it too. It's pretty dirty. Probably wash out the airbox. The only thing holding the airbox on is this clamp right here, and I think I'm just going to take this thing off in one piece. So I'm going to undo this clamp, pull the airbox out, go outside and wash everything. All right, guys, all the plastics are washed. I just used the bucket with the rag, and they came out pretty good. They're still a bit rough. They need more cleaning. The tank cover was real bad. I had to use steel wool on that. Tank's clean, airbox is clean. Everything's clean. There's no more thick, heavy mud on it. So, this stuff good. I'll set it aside. I'll clean it more later. All right, I did the same thing with this. I kind of went over it with a rag and a bucket of water, wring the rag out, pick up more dirt, wring the rag out. I mean, the bucket had like an inch of dirt in the bottom of it when I was done. The wheels look pretty good. They don't look bad. Nerf bars look good. Again, the wheels look good. The shock coils don't look bad. I think I'll leave them. I can wire wheel all this stuff, get all the rust off of it, and I can just mist it with some wheel paint, and it'll look good. I can get I think I have the gray paint that matches this frame, so I can touch up all the rusted areas. Again, I did the same thing on this, just a wet rag. I'm going to clean this rear axle up really good. And the motor, I'm going to clean the motor with WD-40s in a toothbrush. And I should be able to get most of this grime off of it, and it should look better. I did put a rubber cap over the breather which that's the vent for the crankcase. I didn't want dirt and stuff going down in there. So I always do that. Just a tech tip for you guys. And again, over here, the wheels, they look pretty good. No issue with that. Air bar looks good. I got the heavy dirt off of all this stuff. Heavy dirt off the exhaust system. I am going to clean the exhaust system. Someone took the baffle out of it, so it's a little bit loud. I thought I had a baffle. I thought that this baffle would fit. That's for a LTZ250. It doesn't fit, it's too big. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna get a baffle for it. You guys can see back here that the spring on the rear shock is in pretty good shape. It looks good. I'll clean it up better than that, but it looks good. So all this stuff's gonna get nice and clean. And I have to replace the end of the ground wire because it just snapped off. Again, that's really not a big deal. We're gonna pull the carb, we're gonna clean that. That's gonna be a standalone video. Remember I told you guys that's what I was gonna do. So that'll be a how-to standalone. All right guys, I had this this battery on trickle charge for about 24 hours and it's not taking a charge at all. And as you can see there, 1117, the battery's 5 years old, so I guess it's past its prime. So I'll have to add that to the list of parts that we're probably gonna need for this ATV, and that's gonna be probably a $100 item. All right, I'm going to pull the carburetor off of here now, and I'm gonna take the choke cable off. It's just a I don't want to call that a bolt, but it's a nut, and this is just a plunger type kind of choke, and basically it just does is just enriches. It's like an enrichment circuit that allows more fuel than air to go into the motor on startup. There's really anything else. Again, I still don't know where this goes. I'm gonna have to look it up. I didn't download the manual yet, but I will. So I'll pull it off and bring it over to the bench. Okay, guys, I got the throttle cable out. Choke's out. Now all I gotta do is just take this clamp off and this will come right out. But I did notice something here and I want to show you guys. Always look around when you're working on something. See that? That's not all the way in. So I grabbed a little ratchet just to double check, and it's definitely not all the way in. It's not seated all the way. And I am not sure why. It seems very tight. It looks like some of these have washers on them and some of them don't. I don't know if this one's supposed to have a washer on it or not, or if this screw is in the wrong spot. But it definitely isn't all the way down. I'm gonna have to look at the assembly drawing on that and see what's going on there. All right, let's get my little jar out here. And I want to make sure that we drain this thing out before we go any further. So I'm going to open the drain on the bottom here. Hopefully it will open. Wow, I did not want to turn. All right, it's draining. If you guys can see that. And the way this thing's bubbling, it looks like there's water in there. But we'll let it settle and we'll see. We'll see if there's water in it. Tell you what, there's a lot of gas in there. There's our gas. It's pretty dirty. I'm gonna let it settle, see if there's any water in it. All right, let's get set up and start taking this apart. This line right here, I don't really know what this is, why it's plugged. We'll have to look into that. Well, let's start with the bowl. And we'll take this guy off first. And a lot of these screws are probably going to be tough to deal with.
I don't think this carb has probably ever been cleaned, but we'll see. And this thing here, is it working? Yeah, it seems to be working. Although it wasn't working when it was on the... I can't seem to get that to work. But I have another carb that I can take this off of here. But for now, let's start to concentrate on that. Let's get inside the bowl here and see what it looks like. All right, new glove. So listen, guys, the gloves. Old school mechanics will tell you you're a sissy or whatever if you wear gloves. You know, get your hands dirty, be a man. Unfortunately, the old timers are starting to pay the price for that now, because these chemicals are really not good to get on your hands, especially brake clean. Brake clean goes right into your flesh. It's not good. Gasoline, brake clean, oil, even motor oil, transmission fluid, any of those fluids, oils, or anything of that matter, prolonged exposure to your skin, trust me, it's not a good thing. And all these old-time mechanics right now are paying the price because their hands are a mess. And, you know, their joints are all messed up and their fingers are all screwed up. And, you know, be smart. Protect yourself, guys. That's all. Now, this is what I use. It's a gunk parts cleaner. It works really good on carburetors. I bought this gallon jug probably 4 years ago now. I use it all the time. It works great. You don't have to worry about it going bad. It doesn't go bad. They also come with a basket, which is nice. I pulled this out of the parts cleaner, and what I did was I washed it in hot water to get all the cleaner out of it, and blew it out with compressed air, and then I hit it with carb cleaner or brake clean, and as you guys can see, the carburetor looks really good now. It's nice and clean. So what I did was I ordered a carb kit for this. Now listen, this was a $12 kit. This is not high quality by any means. But all I want are the gaskets and the O-rings. That's it. That's all I want. I'm not going to use the jets. I'm not going to use any of this stuff. Everything else, everything I took out of the old carb was fine. But I just want to make sure that I use new O-rings and new gasket. All right, one other thing. One thing I did notice, I did look up on the manual online, and this vent right here, this is vacuum. And the gas tank, this vacuum line goes to the petcock on the gas tank. Unfortunately, somebody had changed the petcock out to a regular gravity-fed petcock. And I don't know if this was supposed to be some type of a fuel pump petcock or something. I don't know. But they switched it to a gravity fed, so this does need to be blocked. So we're gonna put this back on. We can't have this thing open to air. So we'll put that back on there. Very strange, very, very strange. But I think that's it for the carb. All right, let's throw it back on and see how it runs. It needs to come all the way down to that nut because I didn't move that nut. I'm sure the throttle's gonna need adjustment, but for now I'll just bring it in. I got the throttle back in. Let's pop this in there. Let's see. All right, that's in. Okay, tighten this up. All right. That's pretty much it. Now all I got to do is just throw the tank on here, and let's fire it up and see if it runs any better. As you guys can see here, the tank is supposed to have another outlet, one this way and one that way, and this one's supposed to come down around and go into this vent right here, if you guys can see. But somebody must have changed this petcock out because it doesn't have it. It doesn't look like it ever did. So, well, it is what it is. All right, let's throw this on there and hook the fuel up and see if this thing fires for us. Let's see what happens here. Fire right up. All right. Oh, choke don't work. All right, let's see. I don't know which way is choke and which way isn't. Oh, that's choke. Still too cold. I think I might need to raise the idle a tad. Let's try that. See if that does anything for us. All right, I think I fixed the issue. The issue was that washer was getting caught in the groove. I took that second washer out, and it seems like it's working perfectly fine now. Let's fire it up and see if we can get the idle to raise. All right, let's crank that idle up a little bit. Smoking anymore. I think what it was raw gas. This carburetor was in really rough shape. Now that it's rebuilt, it's not smoking anymore. The idle's a little bit too hot still. Throw the air box back in, put the air filter in, and I did clean the air filter. All I have to do now, let me shut this thing off. I did clean the air filter. All I have to do is oil it, pop it back in. Let's see how it runs. All right, guys, here's the filter. I washed it in some soapy water. I'm going to use K&N foam filter oil. I'm just going to spray it. Air filter's in. I'm gonna put the lid on, and then we'll try starting it again and see if we can get this thing to run good. Like I said, it's not leaking gas anymore. Everything's on. Fire's right up. Rolls off. good to go. Let me shut it off. I want to show you guys something. This is the gas I took out of the carburetor. See this right here? See that bubble floating in the bottom? That's water. So the carburetor had water in it, and that might be one of the reasons why I was smoking and running so bad. because it was sucking water every once in a while. I don't know if the gas tank has water in it. I don't think so. But this came out of the carburetor, and as you can see, that is definitely a good amount of water. So it's always good, guys, to have an old jar handy. And when you're going to rebuild a carb, or if your bike is running crappy, drain the bowl while it's still in the bike, because the water will go to the bottom. Drain the bowl, put it in a glass jar like this, and let it sit for a couple of days, and then come back and look. The water will separate, and it always sinks to the bottom. And as you can see, I mean, look at it. That's quite a bit of water. You can see it moving around in there. That's how it goes. Snaps into these 3 spots here. Goes down through that little nick there. Comes down around. I don't know if you guys can see it. Connects to the carburetor. That's it. Again, manuals are valuable. Yeah, it's running beautiful. It's running really good. I really don't think I should have a problem selling this the way it sits. Yeah, I might clean it up a little bit, but I'll do that off camera, just to get some of the stuff off. I think I should probably take it for a ride, see how it goes. Let me shut it off. One thing I did notice is this rear axle, the bike came with differential joint, and I don't think that's the problem. It looks to me like, as you guys can see here, it looks like the bearings are gone in the rear axle. You can get a bearing kit for this for about $100 with seals, and it's not a lot of work to take it off. I mean, should I sell it like that, saying it needs bearings in the rear end, or should I put the bearings in it and try to get an extra couple of $100 more for it? I mean, kind of at this point chasing my tail, because the more I put into it, the less I'm going to get out of it, basically, in the end. I don't want to be upside down on this thing. And if I go and I pull that whole rear end apart, rebuild it, put it back together, between parts and my time, I'm probably looking at maybe $300. The parts are going to be $100. I'll probably have, you know, I don't know, $100 in labor into it, so maybe $250, we'll say, in parts and labor. On top of this, what I already have, I mean, I don't really have anything into it, but it does need a battery. So they're talking another $100 there, so that's another $350 on top of what I paid for it. I don't think this thing is worth more than $1,200, to be honest with you. That's on a good day. I got a carb kit, $11, $12, I should say. I guess I could put some paint into it, try to neaten it up a little bit to make it look a little more presentable so it'll sell quick. I'm probably going to scrub the engine. You can tell this thing's been leaking gas for a long time. That'll all clean up. I'm not worried about that. I think that's what I'm going to do now. I think I'm going to spend about an hour or two and try cleaning up the engine a little bit, and we'll just see how it looks. All right, guys, I'm going to try to straighten this thing out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it, and I'm going to try to squeeze it with my clamp here to try to get it to come round again. Maybe it is. Some weight to it. What I gotta do is I gotta get this bowl back a little bit so it's heated up. Alright guys, that's what it looks like done, and it's a lot better than it was, and it's close enough now that I can push that into place and put a patch on there and weld it, so that's usable and it doesn't look that bad. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I want to thank you guys for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. I think I'm going to move forward with this. I mean, I'll just put the content on. I don't have any content for this style ATV anyways, and some people might help some people. So I'll continue on. I wasn't going to do a lot of work to this. I think I am going to replace the bearings in the rear end, and I'm going to do that just because I want to put that video out there in a short. So more to come on this. The front's done. I just need to weld it. But again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.